let's do this. Let's make our own team. Could go to Florian Wirtz there. There have been several people who have come out and said that Florian Wirtz will become Liverpool's best player and will take the Premier League by storm. Notably, Dietmar Hamann, former Red and expert on the German Bundesliga. He thinks Florian Wirtz will shock us all. We already have high expectations for him, but could he really become that good? He will go stratospheric. This is the article on the BBC. Where will Wirtz play for Liverpool? Let's find out. So who says this? His name is going to go stratospheric in the next season or two. This is Raphael Honigstein, German football expert. And he thinks, even though we've paid 100 million for Florian Wirtz, and it's going to go up to 116 million with add-ons, that we've got a bargain probably. If he's going to become that big a superstar. 22-year-old German attacking midfielders join the Premier League champions in a package worth up to 116. He will bring a lot of class and poise. Whenever I've seen any footage of him, and I've seen a lot of compilations recently and some like bits of games here and there, he looks so silky on the ball, and he looks like he's thinking, 10 seconds ahead of everyone else. He's played for Leverkusen and Germany, so he knows the demands, but he has to adjust to the pace of the Premier League. And that has caught out some people, hasn't it? Like Darwin Nunez was killing it in the Portuguese league. It's not at the level of the Premier League, but still the drop-off in his confidence and finishing ability has been marked. It's been quite shocking. Opponents will try to negate his influence, and that might prove a challenge, but he is young enough and good enough. He's not easily intimidated and stands up strong to the challenge. We like that. A bit of bite. You are buying a superstar. Wirtz made his debut at 17 for Bayer Leverkusen. 19 days later became the youngest goal scorer in Bundesliga history against Bayern Munich. That's quite an experience for the young man at that time, surely. He's had 44 assists, and everyone else in the top 5 is at least 29 years old. He's only 22 and just turned 22, right? This bit's interesting, and I've heard him say this, that key factor of him joining Liverpool was they had a clear vision and a clear spot in the team for him. Whereas Bayern Munich, our biggest rival in trying to sign him, but maybe there was competition. Maybe Florian Wirtz would be like, am I going to be playing in Musiala's spot? Is he going to be taking my spot? Are we going to be rotating in and out? Whereas in the Liverpool team, we have McAllister, Szoboszlai, where Florian Wirtz is clearly a specialist number 10 and can work along that front three as well. Like he can play a false 9, he can go to the wings. Whereas McAllister and Szoboszlai are midfield generals who can also attack. Florian Wirtz is very clearly that attacking player. He's not going to take Salah's area. He's going to work more in that central spot, either behind a striker or as a false 9. It'd be interesting to see how Slot plans to use him. I'm very excited about that. A reshuffled Liverpool. Where will he play? So he was the most effective dribbler in the Bundesliga last season. 23 of his 31 came in the number 10 position. But he tends to drift towards that left wing. Is that going to be some conflict there with Diaz? Or not conflict, but confusion. Are they both going to take each other's spot? Or are they going to gel perfectly? That could happen. Lots of little neat 1-2s could begin to take place with Diaz if he stays. But this article is saying that he will be the fulcrum in attack. He will be that player that everything is going towards, does a little half turn, feeds one of our attackers or someone running beyond the ball. He can score goals himself and is very tenacious, a very modern number 10 and a player lots of clubs wanted. See, here's the interesting bit. If Wirtz takes up a place in Slot's midfield, playing as a traditional 10, and that 10 position's weird, isn't it? Because it's top of midfield, it's at the bottom of the attack, it's that in-between spot. But if you had to classify it as a position on the pitch, you probably would call it an advanced midfield, a midfield role. So then has limited midfield spots. Whose spot is he potentially taking? It's unlikely to be Ryan Gravenberch, given he's in that 6, he's anchoring, right? So could Szoboszlai be at risk? It's not going to be McAllister. McAllister is so consistently brilliant for us. Szoboszlai, he's had hits and misses. He's had some weak games. Majority of the time he's been very, very good. But he does seem to be tasked more with trying to join the attack more than McAllister. And he probably hadn't got the number of assists and goals that Slot would have liked. The two share similar stats, with Szoboszlai creating more big chances across the season and McAllister being the more combative of the two. Wirtz could provide an option on the flank, but Liverpool's wide areas appear to be under lock and key. I'm not really sure about that. I mean, the left, I don't think either Diaz or Cody Gakpo can say they are. Neither of them have locked it down. Diaz played more on the left because Gakpo had a couple of injuries and then some form issues. But then Diaz can move into that central number 9 position with Cody Gakpo playing on the left. I think it's more likely to be Szoboszlai that will miss out at times because of Florian Wirtz. Where you have Gravenberch in the 6, McAllister slightly above, and then Florian Wirtz up here in the 10. Playing just behind a roaming Diaz with Gakpo and Salah on the wings. That's how I see it playing out. What about you? Let me know in the comments. Salah will play where he plays. That's not changing. And Szoboszlai is the most interesting one, as that would be the obvious place for him to play from what we've seen in Germany. Obviously, the obvious place for Wirtz to play. Says Liverpool fan and Anfield rap podcaster John Gibbons. But Slot loves Szoboszlai, and why wouldn't you love a player that works as hard as Szoboszlai does? He does so much and helps Salah. You would imagine he will try and find a way to get both of them if he can. That alternative could see Wirtz or Szoboszlai playing in a centre-forward role in a 4-3-3, more as a false 9. I can't see Szoboszlai playing as that false 9. He doesn't have that quick half turns. Doesn't have that Bobby Firmino lighthouse vision where he's always looking at it. He can see every single person's movement and run. Oh, Bobby Firmino had that in spades, didn't he? Could Wirtz do that though? Oh, he even mentioned Bobby Firmino. It was a style that Roberto Firmino built his legacy with by dropping from forward positions into areas where he could link play, thus allowing the relentless Salah and Mane to prosper from wide bursts. Let's do this. Let's make our own team right now. All right, so we're clearly going to have Alisson Becker in goal. We clearly got Konate, Van Dijk. That's not changing. On the left, at this moment in time, they have included Milos Kerkez. So I think he goes straight into that first team. And on the right, between Connor Bradley and Frimpong, let's say they start the season with Connor Bradley. He's a bit more attuned to the setup of the team. And actually even maybe Robertson starts on the left instead of Kerkez straight away too. But let's put Kerkez in there. On the right, it's no one else but Mo Salah. In that number 6 middle, we've got Ryan Gravenberch. Did a fantastic job. Slightly to the left there is McAllister. Alexis McAllister. Now here's where it gets interesting. These 3 spots. If we were to keep Szoboszlai there, then you could have Florian Wirtz in that false number 9. And on the left, it's a fight between Diaz and Gakpo. Let's say you've got Diaz there. But if instead we put Gakpo on the left, we had Diaz in that number 9 spot, then Szoboszlai's position could go to Florian Wirtz there. Exciting. Tell me how you would build this team. Where would you put Wirtz in there? Would you start Kirkez? Would you start Jeremy Frimpong? Or would you play Conor Bradley and Andy Robbo from the beginning and then bring Frimpong and Kirkez into the team more as we go on? I think Wirtz is starting from the very, very beginning. Surely you don't spend 116 million and not have him starting straight away. All right, let me know in the comments. Give this video a like, support this channel. It's tiny, 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 and we'd like to grow it. Help me, and we can build this into something together. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.